Good morning and welcome to another No Bullshit Nail Club Wisdom Wednesday. Let's get started. Okay, so this week, as you can see from the place card on the video, we are talking about ongoing training in the industry, CPD, if you will. Let's really crack into it. So, first of all, CPD, do you have to do it? Is it necessary? Is it essential? Is it something that you absolutely have to do? Okay, there isn't really a short answer to that. In my view, as an educator, as a tech, as someone who's worked in lots and lots of different industries, yes, it is something you should be doing. So continuing your own personal, professional development in the industry that you work in is absolutely essential because especially in the nail industry and the beauty industry, everything changes very, very quickly. It changes day to day, week to week, month to month. And sometimes I will teach a student and then a year later they'll come back to me to do a refresher course, or they'll come back to me to do a one-to-one, or they'll come back to me to do a different course, and the theory will be slightly different and it will be updated, and I will make a point of saying, oh, okay, since the last time you were here, this has changed or that's changed. Now, if you're not continually learning and developing yourself and your skills and your knowledge, how would you know that things have changed? What kind of groups are you in? What kind of people are you in touch with that will let you know that these things have changed? Now, when it comes to CPD being a requirement, I believe that unless you are teaching for a company or teaching Ofqual approved courses, that CPD isn't a job requirement. When I taught for VTCT, the company that I worked for required that I had so many hours of CPD per year. And that could be reading magazines, reading blogs, going on courses, online courses, online training, all kinds of stuff. Anything that was relevant to my job role, anything that was relevant to the industry, and they would be logged as CPD hours, and you would have to log them on a website, and you would have to be up to date with that to continue teaching. Now, as a independent nail tech, there doesn't seem at the moment in the UK as of February 25 to be a necessity to do CPD when it comes to insurance. It is incredibly important that you do keep your knowledge up to date for the safety and welfare of your clients, as well as, you know, your own professional personal development. But really, you know, there's nobody pressing you at this point as a self-employed person, a sole trader, or even a small salon. There's nobody pressing the point to do CPD. Now, I know the value of it, and I understand that, you know, I really strongly believe that every day is a school day. You should be learning every single day. I also really firmly believe that if you're of the opinion that you've got nothing left to learn and you know everything, that's the time really where you should just stop doing what you're doing, because if you really, really, truly believe that there's nothing left to learn, you've got to a point where you, maybe you should just stop, because there's always something to learn. There's always somebody bringing something new out. There's always new techniques. There's always new things to learn about chemicals and safety, products, health and safety, and all that kind of stuff. There is so much to learn. Why am I telling you this? Because I spent a lot of last year retraining people who had trained elsewhere. There's a lot of training out there that is very poor standard, and this isn't about naming names or shaming people or establishments or businesses or anything like that. This has nothing to do with that. One of my favourite sayings is, you don't know until you know. And as a student, and as a beginner especially into the nail industry, you don't know what you don't know. And when you go on a training course and you've done a little bit of research and you've been online and you've had some recommendations and you've read some reviews and you choose a training provider and you go and do your course and you've paid your money, you assume, and you should assume, that everything you learn is correct and everything you learn is everything you'll need to start your business, if that's what the course is that you've paid for. Now, I know that the vast majority of the time this is not the case. There are a lot of training providers out there that are not offering substantial training. They're not offering what I call peripheral training. So they're teaching you what's in the manual, but not the real world application of that. So the way that I teach is I teach everything in the manual, but I add in things that I've learned through my own journey as an nail tech, you know, as a sole trader, working in salons, working for colleges, working for training providers, working for other people's academies, real world stuff, if you like, things that you can only gain from experience that you can't get until you're qualified. So that's another one of the reasons why I do these Wisdom Wednesdays as well. This is just imparting knowledge that not everybody is going to have access to until they've done it. So, you know, that's my gift to you guys. Okay, so back on track with the old CPD. Now, you don't necessarily have to log CPD if you don't have to for your job. As I said, if you are a trainer, educator, and you're working in a college or for an off-call provider or a regulated provider, quite often you will have to log CPD. Now, if you don't have to log CPD, you should be doing it anyway. And that could be just going to shows, following podcasts, following educators, following people that give out free information like this Wisdom Wednesday, and that kind of stuff. But also, I regularly still do courses. I will regularly still do beginners courses, even though I'm not a beginner, even though I've written manuals, even though I've taught up, you know, through the levels. I will still go and do them. One, to check for gaps in my knowledge. Two, to see if people are doing it better and I can implement any of those strategies into my training. Not to come and steal training courses, because I don't do that. But there may be teaching techniques that I'm not aware of. People may use a particular way of getting across information or a demonstration technique, and it's all about just learning and putting those things together. So I still go and do those courses. I also do courses in other stuff. So at the moment I'm learning to build an educational portal and a website. I'm learning to do coding, embedding links and things. I'm learning how to use different technology. Now, that isn't to do with nails, but it is the peripheral stuff that I'm talking about. Business mentoring, business coaching. These are things that I will be doing later in the year. I want to do lots and lots and lots of things with my business. So I'm still doing those bits and pieces. What kind of CPD is available for you when it comes to practical skill? Now, I offer something called a bespoke one-to-one. I'm just going to adjust so I'm out of the sun quickly. That's marginally better, although I do feel like this ray of sun has just captured my like 12 chins. Never mind. So I offer this thing called a bespoke one-to-one, and basically what it looks like in the real world is that you pay for my time, for my hours, and this is kind of the structure. I'll just put it here. And in that time you can choose to do whatever you like. So you can write the script to do whatever it is that you want to do. Now, I've had I'm going to put up a few lists here just while I'm talking about these one-to-ones and the value of them, of what previous students have chosen to do with their time. It isn't about doing accredited courses. It's about working with somebody who has been in the industry, experience building a clientele, experience working in different mediums. I work with gel polish, builder gel, hard gel, poly gel, full cover tips, acrylic tips, forms, sculpting, what else, e-file, all that kind of stuff. So it's about working with somebody with experience that can give you essentially like a masterclass in that technique. Also, as you can see from the lists that are popping up, I can give you ideas on social media. I can give you ideas on how to build your client base and your business. I've got a course coming out in the spring called Fake It Till You Make It, which is about building content for your social media before you have clients. And this really is aimed at beginners. It's aimed at brand new techs into the industry, where it might take you 6 months, a year to build up a full clientele. Now, we know that people buy with their eyes, so how do you build up content before that point? And this course will cover all of that. But these one-to-ones can also cover a lot of those things as well. So the value of doing these courses is not to log hours necessarily, because we don't need to do that, but it is to improve the basics, to go back to basics, to have a space with somebody who's an educator and a tech with experience to build up on the things that you feel like you need improvement with. And I would always advocate doing something like that. If that is something that you wanted to do, I will put the link to that below, around here somewhere, and in the notes of this video as well. Whatever it is you choose to do in terms of your continuing professional development is really important, and it's important that you do this stuff and you keep doing this stuff. The takeaway from today is to go off with a cup of tea or a glass of wine or cider or whatever it is you want, and write yourself a list of 5 things that you are least confident with in your business, whether that is technical skill, whether that is shaping, natural nail prep, acrylic application, using the e-file, or whether they are things like social media content, how to file a tax return, whether that is building up more clients, whether that is I don't really understand the health and safety stuff. 5 things that you are least confident with, and then have a think about who it is that you know that can help you with that, and how you want that help, what that looks like for you. So is that about you don't know how to do a tax return? Do you need to employ an accountant? You're struggling with shaping? Do you need a one-to-one with another tech or an educator? Is that you are struggling because everyone asks you for acrylic and you don't do acrylic? Do you need to go and do an acrylic course? Don't underestimate the value of more strings in your bow. So that's kind of it. That's what I wanted to talk to you about today. The value of continuing your own development. There is no way that doing one course will do you and last you forever. However good that course is, you need to continually develop your own skills. So have a little think about what that means. Do your list. Do let me know in the comments how you feel about that. And I will see you in the next Wisdom Wednesday. As always, if you're not in the Facebook group, it is here. If you want to message or email, that is here. If you want to find me on Instagram, it's here. Okay, so have a great rest of your week. I'm going to try and get out the sun, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.